In the legal world, there is a combination of forces that feed a corrupt and suffocating legal system for attorneys. Law schools, law professionals, judges, and even the firms themselves for whom you work create a system, a matrix, if you will, that is nothing like what you thought when you passed the bar exam. The purpose of this podcast is to help you escape this legal matrix, leading you out of the proverbial desert to be free of the bondage of the matrix. Hosted by Bryce D. Nyer, attorney at law with over 30 years experience in the trenches of civil and criminal litigation at the state, federal, and international levels. He's a highly accomplished and resourceful legal professional, a true master of his craft, and he's here to help you get your life back. Here's your host, Bryce D. Nyer.
All right. This is Bryce D. Nyer coming at you from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. We're here in the area of the fantastic and great Fort Bragg, also known as Fort Liberty, but I'll never call it that. So, I'm glad you're here with us today, tonight, this morning, again, whatever time zone you're in. And what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about this thing called an epiphany. An epiphany, okay? This epiphany, this thing like, wow, where am I? What has come to light? What has a light come on for me in battling this thing, the legal matrix? Because remember what we're talking about. We're talking about escaping the legal matrix and attorney's exodus from legal bondage. And that's what we've been talking about in the previous episodes. And we've covered several different topics, covering many areas that are important to you growing, rising, and ultimately owning, leading, and operating your own firms free and clear of the clutches and the chains and the bondage and the prison of what? Of the legal matrix. So when we're talking about, this epiphany, we're looking at all these domains of body, being, balance, business, and then what I call the fifth domain, which is fulfillment. And if you remember, fulfillment is where your passions for all of these domains are the fuel, they are the catalyst for fulfillment. Because if you're not fulfilled, you're never going to do anything, at your top peak. You're not going to be this best version of you. And remember, the features that we're providing you here is we're having you experience a righteous clarity and understanding of who you are, of what you are, and what you truly seek to do as a lawyer, or for that matter, whatever profession you're in. We're guiding you to upgrade your own identity within the legal profession. You have to experience yourself as those who are guided by what we call impeccable truth and excellence. And you're following through with this establishment, so to speak, of your own 10 commandments of non-negotiables, and giving them the code how you're going to operate and live. Your own, whatever that code is, whether it's living in truth, whether it's stopping the lying, telling the truth, and doing the work. And you've got to be led through this process, which we're going to do, of owning, building, and being a powerful leader of your own in this new law firm kingdom you're going to create, surrounded by support staff who have bought into your vision. You've got to empower people and yourself with the permission required to experience this fun and this excitement in life, possibly for the first time since you went to law school. And this is going to lead you to an increased passion and fulfillment in both your professional and your personal life. And so we want to take you across this bridge of where you are to where you can be by showing you the blueprint to getting and keeping in business more cash to pursue as an attorney, and give you this, what we call this track record of fulfillment and passion to your ultimate kingdom that you're building. You're going to be the king and the queen, and you have to have a certain mindset, a certain frame that you operate from, or we call it Frameology. And that frame from which you work from, you have to know where you are. You have to stop. You have to look at yourself and you have to say, what are the facts of where I am right now today in these domains of body, being, balance, business, and fulfillment? And tonight we're going to talk about body. Now, a lot of lawyers and a lot of other professionals, statistics prove out, really do not do a great job of taking care of themselves in body. In fact, in the legal profession, again, depending upon which study you read, the legal profession is in the top 10 or top 15 of professions for the highest suicide rates. I mean, think about that. How a person can get, and that deals with mental and emotional, but the fitness of your body, along with the nutrition, clearly affects your mood. It affects you in everything that you do. And all too often, law students and lawyers neglect their body. You're so caught up, and understandably so, in the stress of life. Remember, in law school, you're in this competition to do well and to ultimately graduate, and you're in this environment of people that are very aggressive. They collide because that's what law school and the legal matrix does to you. It makes you collide with everybody and everything. It's a high-intensity, high-pressure environment that is relentless. It doesn't ever let up. And as you progress, and again, you take the bar exam, and then you pass the bar and you start your job, you're not really concentrating on your body. You're not taking care of yourself. I see this all the time. Have seen it even when I was in law school, when people were just drinking to excess. Some were smoking. Smoking was kind of phasing out, but there was a high consumption of alcohol all the time because of the stress and the pressure, and some people still thought they were in college. And they gained weight, they were hungover, they didn't feel well, they thought it was all partying, and it would make the pain go away. And it didn't. It just gave them what I call liquid courage. And then eventually, your body will begin to give out. It just won't function at its highest capacity. So in where we're headed with this, with all of these domains, is to get you to the frame of mind, that frameology of focusing on body, okay? So again, tonight we're talking about body. I mean, take a look at yourself. Do you really feel and look fit? Do you feel good? What are you eating? What are you drinking? Are you doing any type of exercise at all? And you've got to look at it not from my perspective, but from you. You've got to answer your own question. Am I fit? Am I eating right? Or am I just consuming junk food and crap and boozing it up, or smoking, or something that's just polluting everything in your body? Remember, your body's a temple. It's only going to be as fit as you make it fit. It's only going to, thrive from nutrition as much as you eat nutritious foods and not eat a bunch of junk. And for me, during my life, I found that fitness in body always gave me clarity and focus. And when I was not in good physical shape, and I wasn't eating right, and I wasn't consuming the right foods or drink, I felt horrible. I felt lethargic. I didn't feel weaponized for the day. And I had to develop this mindset and have this purpose, this sole purpose for my body, that I was like, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to work out, even if it's just 10 push-ups, just doing something every day. And see, that's where Legal Warrior is going to take you in all of these domains of body, being, balance, business, and fulfillment. And again, tonight, as a reminder, we're talking about body. Now, I'm not a fitness coach. I'm not, a CrossFit trainer. I'm not any of that. I'm not. I have some experience in obviously working out. I ran track when I was in high school. I was always in pretty good shape. I was an Army officer. We had physical training, also known as PT, almost every day. And then if you get out of a mode or an environment of where you're with a group of people where it's mandated for you to be at a place and a time to work out, you start to sedate and kind of back off and make excuses why you won't do it. And as you grow older and as you don't work out and as you don't take care of your body and as you don't have the proper nutrition, it becomes an addiction to staying that way. And that's not what you want to do. So when you're over there on that other side of the bridge and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Are you obese? Are you overweight? Are you not getting enough sleep? Do you feel sluggish in the morning? Do you feel like you want to take a nap every day? And is that maybe depression, which is a symptom of you not working out? Because I know when I work out, and sometimes they're pretty rigid workouts, I feel really pumped up at the end. I feel like I've detoxed my body of every poisonous thing that could possibly exist in my body and in my mind. And if you cross that bridge into Legal Warrior and you make that decision, then body is going to have to be one of the things that you have to focus on. And it's going to be painful. If you haven't worked out for a long time or you've been eating the wrong foods, you're going to have this addiction to sedation of not working out. You're going to have these addictions to foods, whether it's sugar or alcohol, maybe it's prescription drugs, maybe it's illegal drugs. I don't know. Only you know where you are. But part of what Legal Warrior does is it assists you to have the skill sets and the tools to break free of this bondage of where your body's just not functioning correctly. And the legal matrix, remember, the legal matrix doesn't have feelings. It doesn't care. It's just an animal that consumes everything in its path. And if you are not physically fit, if you are not eating the proper foods, then how can you possibly have any clarity or focus? How can you be operating at your peak? When you see people that look like they're in really good shape, and I get it, you may not know what's going on in the world when they go home behind closed doors and everything, but when you see people that look physically fit, here's what I have noticed, and I think you'll notice it too as you cross that bridge. They feel more confident about themselves. The way they look, the way they walk, the way they talk. They come into a room and they command the room with their presence by looking good and looking fit. I know that when I didn't really feel like I looked very fit, I didn't feel very powerful. I kind of just shied away. And I would look at other people and I'd be like, man, that dude's really cut. Or that girl, she's really cut. They're really in good shape. And I would notice that they would have this presence of, I'd call it a commanding presence because of body. And I would observe what they were eating and drinking. And I would notice that they were eating the healthy foods, they were drinking water, they were not boozing it up. And, when you're physically fit, you really can't lie too much about that, okay? You can't. You pull your shirts off and either you're cut or you're not, either you've got a bunch of flab or you don't. Now, again, some people could be really fit and trim, but on the inside of their bodies, maybe their liver's failing from drinking a bunch of alcohol. Maybe their lungs are filled up with, carbon, dioxide, monoxide, whatever it is, dioxide from smoking cigarettes. Or maybe they've been doing illegal drugs. There's things on the internal you can't always see that you can see on the outside. But there is no question, you step on a scale, you weigh what you weigh. Those are the facts without the feelings. You either fit in the clothes you want to fit in or you don't. So body is a powerful thing. Remember, the body is a vessel that carries all your internal organs. It carries your brain where you think. It carries your heart and how you feel. It takes you where you want to go or where you need to go. And the minute your body breaks down from poor nutrition or not being fit, it affects everything. Just think about as you're on this other side of the bridge, how often have you been sick? Were you sick because, maybe once a year? Or are you constantly sick because your immune system is so weakened because you haven't done the things necessary to keep your body properly tuned? If you're going to spend the money to keep your vehicle tuned up and in shape to go wherever you need to go, why would you not do that for your body as well? Why would you not do that? You have to have preventive maintenance for your body, whether it's going to the dentist, whether it's working out with a personal trainer, whether it's just drinking water, whether it's laying totally off sugar. And look, I get it. I've been on the other side of the bridge where you are. I've been lethargic and tired and not weaponized and bloated and feeling like, man, I feel like I'm overweight. I just, I need to look better. I don't look good. I don't feel good. I don't fit in these clothes anymore. And, I want to share something. The biggest thing is, your passport gets renewed typically every 10 years. This is a great thing. So you get sent back your old passports. If you really want to see how you progress in life, just take a look at your passport photos about every 10 years. Okay. Now, typically you can start getting them at age 16, then 26, 30, and so on, depending on when you get it. But I'm just saying that will tell you a story, or just look at photos over the years, and you're going to see the progression of the wear and tear on your body. And as a lawyer, you're going to be faced with such high stress environments. The legal matrix, again, it just doesn't care. It doesn't care. You're going to be up all hours of the night. You're going to have deadlines. You're going to have collisions with opposing attorneys, with your clients, with the judges, with the staff. And you're going to get fatigued and tired. And then you're going to want to do what? You're going to want to sit down and binge watch, either Netflix or Amazon Prime or some other platform, because you just don't want to get up and do what you need to do. For me, and it may be different for you, again, as you're over on the other side of the bridge and I'm standing there with you, when I was on the other side of that bridge, there were days I just didn't want to get up. I'm like, man, I was comfortable, and I'm a morning person. I have to work out in the morning. If I don't work out in the morning, it's just not going to get done. Some people like to work out at night. But, the hardest part for your Frameology, for your frame of mind, is starting. Starting is the most difficult thing that you're going to go through when you're working on body. And the reason it's the most difficult thing is because you're used to being lethargic and sedating and not doing what you need to do, what you need to do, but you're not doing it. And see, during my life too, as I'm on this other side of the bridge, looking over to this, version of what you can be, what I can be, and we're both looking, we're like, man, we could be as fit as they are. We could be as trim as they are. We could be as healthy as they are. But right now, today, the facts of where we are is we're not healthy. We're not fit. We're not eating the right foods. We're not drinking the right liquids, and you just take that look in the mirror and you're like, man, there's a lot of work to be done. And the starting point is hard. And then the next day number 2, it's still hard. And day number 3, it's still hard. But as you get consistent and as you do repetitions, your body starts to become what you're becoming: awakening, stepping out of the bed, throwing the covers off, getting dressed, going to the gym, or walking your thousands of steps, or working out on the equipment maybe you have at home, or again, going to the gym. As you progress and you get repetitive and you do all of these reps and you get consistent, you start to change. Your body starts to change. You get more fit, you get more clarity, and you get more focus. And that's what happens when you become a legal warrior. When you go into legal warrior, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be gravity pulling you to go back over the bridge to that crappy version of who you used to be. And that old you has to die. It has to die. When you come across the bridge, you have to burn the bridge. You have to destroy it so that you can never go back. And you will be tempted to go back. You will want to sedate. You will not want to get up. And you're going to have days, you're going to have weeks, maybe months, where you may backslide into the old version of you. But there's always going to be the new version pulling you, and it's going to be a tug of war. And it's a real war. Your mind battles all the time in all of the domains. And especially in body. I mean, think about it. You're like, do I get up or not get up? Do I really want to go run today or not? I mean, And you have to develop this mindset, no matter what, I'm going to do it. And that was one of the hardest things for me. I was like, man, I'm going to look for, it's cold outside. It's raining. I really need to get more sleep. I'm supposed to get 7 to 9 hours, and I'm not even close. And you start making these excuses. And your frameology and the frame that you've created to be consistent and to get and to be repetitive in what you do and what you become, it starts to dissipate. And you start to backslide and you start to what we call drift. And as you drift, you're starting to revert back to who you really don't want to be until the new version of you is pulling you forward. And man, it's a conflict. It's a battle. It's a dogfight. It really is. It's a dogfight. It's like throwing a bunch of pit bulls in a pen and they're just going at it. There's the old version pit bull of you and there's this new version that you're going for. And man, they're just tearing each other apart. They're going at it. They each want you. And that's really what the legal matrix is. The legal matrix is trying to hold you down and control you in everything that you do. Because remember, if you're addicted to something, that addiction, whether it's drugs or alcohol or porn or whatever it is, has a hold on you. And once it takes your mind kind of controls the body. It tells the body what to do. Okay? It does. The brain controls everything. It's where your thoughts originate. Well, I'm thinking I don't really want to get up. I'm thinking I really don't want to go run. I'm thinking it's really cold outside. I'm thinking, man, it's hot and humid. And I'll do it tomorrow. And your mind it really is a very powerful thing. It directs you in everywhere. It directs you forward. It directs you backwards. It directs you to the sideways. It directs you back into bed. It directs you to put your shoes on, get dressed. I mean, it leads you in all these directions. And you have to learn to gain control of your thoughts and of your mind. And it's very difficult to do because there's so many distractions. You're like, ooh, I'd like to have that cold beer. Ooh, I'd like to have that Snickers bar. Ooh, I'd like to have that big Mountain Dew. And, it's happened to me. Sugar, too much sugar is really bad for you, but I like sweet iced teas. I like to have a Mountain Dew. And I'm like, better not do that. And it can become very difficult to discipline yourself. Because remember, you're breaking free of an addiction. And the legal matrix is filled with just addictions to everything. Addictions to money, addictions to porn, addiction to alcohol, drugs, sedations. It draws you in because why? It feels good. It feels good to sleep in. It feels good to say, I'm not going out in the cold and freeze my ass off, walking 8,500 steps or jogging. It feels good. I'm warm. I'm comfortable. And you're going to have to learn to get uncomfortable. You're going to have to learn that pain is your friend. I had to do that. As I sat there on the bridge, where you are right now, I'm like, man, how do I break free of where I am in body? How do I do this? How do I motivate myself? What do I do? Well, I discovered it because, like you, I was on that bridge and I sought out knowledge. I sought out entities and people that were successful in breaking free and consumed the knowledge and the skill sets and the tools. And then I had to be like, okay, now that I've consumed the knowledge, now what do I do? Well, you have to walk across the bridge. Remember, you're standing on the bridge over there. Where are you now? What are the facts? And across the bridge in this distant land, remember, you have to cross it. It's an exodus. You're going to the promised land in body. You're like, I can see the new version of me. I'm fit and trim, and I'm well rested. I have focus. I have clarity. I have soul purpose. I have passion. I have fulfillment. And my body is the vessel that contains all of that and will take me across the bridge. Legal Warrior is calling you. It's pulling for you. It's pulling you. It's saying, come on. Come on. And it is going to be this dogfight. It is going to be this collision. It is going to be this battle. There's no question about it at all. And you have to develop the mindsets. And that's what we're going to be talking about, in these domains. It's about the mindset. Because until you control your mind and your thoughts, until you get control of them, you're going to have weaknesses. You're going to have, weak links in the chain. Okay? An organization is only as strong as the weakest member. And right now, you are the only member. Everything falls on you. Nobody can do the workouts for you. Nobody can consume the right foods for you. You have to do it just like I did. And remember, I'm standing there with you and I'm saying, come on, let's do this together. Let's do this together. You have to do your part. I have to do mine. And so League of Warrior is going to give you the tools, the weapons, the skill sets. And it's not based on hyperbole. It's not based on, I'm just saying it. It's based on what I have actually had to do in my life. And I share that with you so that as young as you are in your age or your career, you don't make the same mistakes that I and others have done. This is the whole purpose of League of Warrior. It's as if we're going back in time, knowing what we know now, and you are the mirror of us, the version of the old us, and we're saying to you, look, I am you, but I'm 30 years in the future. And this is what you need to do right now so that you have a better quality of life, so that you don't die prematurely, so that you live healthy, so that you think healthy, so that you act healthy. And this is what you have to do to cross this bridge. You have to have these skill sets, you have to be weaponized, and you have to have a mindset of total clarity, of total focus, of total passion, which will lead to your fulfillment in body. And if you've ever run and had that thing called the runner's high when you're done, your endorphins or whatever they're called, okay? And if you've run and you've run this really, intense race, whether, you're a jogger, a marathon runner, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. There's a high to it. Your body has detoxed and you're just sitting there sweating, and then you get in the shower and you cool off and you're like, man, I feel pretty good. I feel awake and I feel alert and I feel ready to go. And then you will see other people that are not doing what you are doing, and you will notice how slow and lethargic and their thinking is off and they're confused and they're just like pinging off the walls, not able to get anything constructively done during the day. So I need you to think about that. What are your facts in body right now today? What are they? How much do you weigh? What is your waist size? What is your fitness program? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you consuming? Are you doing anything? Strip down and look in the mirror. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you get in the shower, you're going to be naked anyway. I mean, I do. I'm like, man, I don't, I'm looking overweight again. I'm looking, puffy. What's wrong with my gut, and I don't feel cut. And it's a daily audit. You have to do it. There's no magic secret to this, okay? There's no magic secrets. There's a science to nutrition and working out, and you can hire the trainers or do your own research, but you have to do something. And again, there will be days when you will fail. And if you fail, it means you're doing something. You're taking action. People who never fail don't take action. People that have been successful in their lives, they fail because they've taken some action, and it's a hit or miss, hit or miss, hit or miss till they get it right. Okay? So don't look at failure like, oh man, I'm just a loser. You're not a loser. You're not a loser. You're on the other side of the bridge, looking across the bridge to the promised land, that exodus, escaping the legal matrix, the freedom in body, the freedom to be healthy, to not be like everybody else. There's nothing fun about being an obese diabetic laying in a hospital bed and they're starting to saw off your legs because you have no circulation. Or you have a CDs because you're so filled up with fluid because you drank so much that your liver has failed. There's nothing fun about that. Nothing. You're not going to be young forever, but you can be fit and you can eat right no matter what age you are. No matter what age you are. And sometimes you find out late in life, but if you're blessed enough, God will send you a signal and say, hey, your body's out of whack. And we need to get it back where it needs to be. Because it's a vessel carrying everything inside of you. Your brain, your heart, your soul, every organ that you have. And I gave you this body to take care of, and it's your responsibility. It's all of our responsibilities. So again, you're across the bridge. What are the facts of where you are today? Looking across the bridge, Legal Warrior is going to pull you, going to guide you, going to lead you, going to give you the skill sets and the weapons and the tools to move forward in body. And the first thing we've got to do is change the way you think. We've got to create this frame of killing off the old you and going to what is the new version. Who do you have to be this king or queen in body? What mindset do you have to have, and what do you have to start doing, or what do you have to stop doing in order to be fulfilled in body? Okay, you got some homework. Write it down. What are the facts of where you are? This is important. Don't blow it off. Your health is key to your success in everything that you do. Everything. Every domain is dependent upon one another. Get up, look at yourself, take that self-audit. Don't just blow it off, okay? Body. That's what we're talking about tonight. Remember, what are the facts of where you are without the feelings? Where are you? You're on the other side of the bridge. Legal Warrior's going to pull you through. We're going to escape the legal matrix. This is Bryce D. Nyer, and we are out of here.